Welcome to this new series. I had the honour and privilege of spending a weekend at the British Superbike Championships at Thruxton, and I was hosted by True Heroes Racing. Now, I was able to do a series of interviews with all the team members, or most of the team members, and got a real insight into a team that is totally different from any other team in the paddock. I hope you enjoy this series of interviews that I've done and that you'll come on board and support the team. It's very easy to support the team. You don't have to be a big sponsor, you don't have to be a corporation. All they're looking for is they've got a supporters club. To sign up, go to the website, put in your details. It costs £10 a month. There's a small setup fee, and for that you get a t-shirt and a few other little gizzits, and then you become a supporter. £10 a month makes a big difference over the year. It's £120 that goes towards, every penny goes towards the team and helping to run it. As you can imagine, it costs a huge amount of money to run a race team, and they're running 3 bikes at the moment, so they need every penny they can get, and your support would help them along the road. So I hope you enjoy this series. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you don't miss when a new episode drops. So this is the True Heroes Racing setup. So they've got the main Arctic there with the garage awning, and as you come to the side you've got the shop, which is crucial. Then you've got the smaller truck that's got the stores in, and as you come down the side you can look into the side of the garage where they keep all the tyres, and then you come into the hospitality area, and the hospitality area is crucial for the whole team. It's where they come to eat and meet up, and the team ethos is more than just a race team. You'll never guess what, I'm still at the BSB. Now I've captured the real key player to this whole team. Without her it would fall to bits, I'm sure. So that's it. Welcome.
Thanks for the intro.
Well, from I've been here for a couple of days now, and I've seen the amount of stuff that you do, and where you're involved, and how you control Phil,
Yeah.
which is no mean feat.
No.
So, from your perspective, how long you've been on the team, and when did you get dragged into it?
Yep. So 2018, I was doing a different day job to what I'm doing now, and I got to meet Chris from Express Coffee, who was one of my customers. And I'm always waxing lyrical about my husband Daniel and the fact that we love motorbikes, and explained about his issues and his illness. And Chris said, I've got a team you need to meet. And he said, I'll take you for a day to Silverstone. So there we go for a day hospitality through Chris at Silverstone, and he introduced us to Phil and True Heroes. And I watched Daniel, my husband, and interacting, and at this point Daniel had become very subdued and quite introverted and quite depressed, and chatted to Phil, and Phil said, why don't you come down to Brands Hatch and spend a weekend with us? Got out of the race, and Daniel said, I'd like to try it. No problem. So we went down to Brands Hatch 2018, spent the weekend down there in a hotel, and honestly my husband reappeared. So he just became this cheeky muppet, military, stupid, just ridiculous humour that I didn't understand but I recognised. Yeah. He reappeared again, and I went, right Phil, we've got to do this. He wants to do it, what can we do? And stupidly I said, I don't like to sit on my backside and do nothing, what can I do? And so he said, well, you can help me in any way. So 2019 started, and I started helping with the guests, and I suppose the rest is history, and here I am today.
So just going back to that that client of yours, Express Coffee.
Yeah.
Now, I have noticed that there's coffee on tap.
Yep.
Right throughout the whole weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's down to that sponsor.
It is, yeah. So Chris Palmer and his team, and then his son Tristan, so Tristan James, so they do a phenomenal job. And people might think, oh, it's just coffee, but if you're amazed at how many conversations you have around a coffee, you know, the society has moved into a position where everyone goes and has a coffee and has a chat. And they are fantastic in their support to us. And it started then, and it's, you know, they've always supported True Heroes, but it's grown and grown and grown. And Tristan's been here today sorting something out, because the coffee machine's integral to what we do with our
absolutely,
guests. Yeah.
And that's all plumbed into the side of the truck. And
Yeah. It just sits there. It does its thing quietly, gets on with it. But you know what? It's really important. Really important.
Absolutely. I mean, I've benefited from it.
Yeah, people do.
I am a coffee drinker.
Yeah, people do.
And and that's one of the key aspects. That when you stand around a coffee machine.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, have a chat.
And you'll find out so much just around that coffee machine. So, from 2019, then you started getting more involved with the team.
A little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit more involved in the team. So through that season, did you go to all the meetings?
Yeah, so the only one we didn't do was Knock Hill, because the team doesn't tend to do Knock Hill.
That's so far away.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, we did all of the rounds, and I saw every time we went to the rounds, my husband just reappeared a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and he benefited. Don't get me wrong, he's exhausted at the end of the 4 days, absolutely shattered. But the buzz that it gives him lasts for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then when we know that there's another one coming up, you know, Sunday night, it'll be, right, when are we leaving for the racing? What do I need to do? And we're very fortunate. I bring my truck with us, and we stay in that, because he needs the opportunity to go and chill and, you know, take some downtime. So we bring that with us. But it's his job to get it ready and get it sorted. So he's got a bit of a plan. So we sort of started in 2019. And then 2020... I sort of got more involved with Phil, and I'm from a commercial background, from sales.
Yeah.
So I was able to say to Phil, look, I'm happy to get more involved, and I've always done voluntary work across my career. And in 2020 we made it into a limited company, did the VAT registration, and sort of made it so that it was more of a benefit from the business perspective to the beneficiaries. So not to Phil, not to I. You know, it's not about making money, it's about what else can we do to make sure we secure the future for the organisation.
And now it's in a good place. I mean, obviously COVID had an effect, and just everything was affected with it. And you managed to keep going through that.
Yeah, it was really tough, but we're very, very fortunate. We've got some real strong sponsors, and we've got so many relationships that Phil has created over the years, whether it be product or financial. You know, we've got lots of, I would say, medium-sized sponsors, and I'm always the sort of person I would have any sponsorship, but of course if you have lots of medium, it's better for a business setup, business model. But Phil had made so many relationships with these sponsors that actually we managed to get through COVID. And I found definitely with my husband that he really struggled with the isolation. So we created a project for him. He's got a couple of bikes at home that he's broken down, and he's now trying to rebuild. So my garage is full of bits of bikes, which I have no idea what to do with. But yeah, COVID was tough for everybody. But yeah, we're very fortunate we were able to come out the other end.
And so, coming forward then, you've just grown more and more into the team. So you're like the second in the command of the team.
I suppose so. Yeah.
And the sergeant major of the team. So you keep the company commander in check.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I'm not military. My husband's obviously ex-household cavalry. I'm in a position where, as far as I'm concerned, it's Phil's team. It always has been. It always will be. And I will back him, but I'll also challenge him. You know, that's what you should be doing.
Absolutely.
And we work very well together. He often refers to me as the one that reins him in, and I think I do. But he also recognises what it does for me. It gives me the opportunity to give my husband Daniel those opportunities. So in turn, it helps me as well. You know, it's very tough. Anyone that is supporting anyone that's ill, they'll understand how tough it can be. I'm not the one that's ill. I don't understand it. I don't know what pain my husband's in daily. I don't know what challenges he really has. I can see it, but I don't know what's going on up here. So giving the team my time helps me mentally as well.
Yeah. And then you for this team this year. Now, I've become a supporter of the team.
Yeah.
And it's my own fault. I went and had a chat with Janet. And,
with Jane, Jane in the shop,
Jane in the shop.
Yeah.
And I stood there too long.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
I made eye contact.
She is brilliant.
and the next thing I knew, I was filling out a form.
Yeah, we are so lucky. We're so lucky. And she is a brilliant example of the sorts of people that we need in our organisation.
Yeah.
And I think that shows how much Phil has grown and the team has grown. So when I joined back in 2019, it was very much, it has to be military only.
Yeah.
And that would be fantastic if every single person was military. But any charitable organisation understands they need volunteers.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what those volunteers' background is, if they're prepared to help and support, we need them. So Jane's great nephew has cerebral palsy, and he sort of got involved in the team, and he's now a volunteer and he helps us.
Yeah.
But Jane has sort of taken on the shop.
Yes.
And she's taken that under her wing, which frees me up to do other stuff with guests and sponsors. But you mentioned the Supporters Club, which we're very pleased to have you.
Yes.
The Supporters Club was Jane's idea, and it was born out of a need for the general public to say, how can I support the team? I'm not a commercial organisation, I don't want sponsorship, I haven't got a brand, I haven't got customers, but what can I do? And so Jane sort of said to me, what can we do? We had a bit of a brainstorm idea, sat down, had a couple of drinks and said, right, this is what we're going to do. So the Supporters Club gives people the opportunity to give back.
Yeah. It's
not a lot of money, it's £10 a month, and I hope that gives people the opportunity to feel like they're getting involved, because every single penny of that £10 a month goes back to these guys and gives them opportunities. If you look at the tyre bill from this weekend, it will be phenomenal, because anybody that knows racing knows Thruxton is quite harsh on tyres.
Yeah.
And that tyre bill is going to be big, so we need to make the money to make sure we can pay those tyres so those guys can go back out again.
Yeah, so I would urge anybody that really wants to support a race team.
Yeah.
This is the team to support, and it's only £10 a month.
Yeah.
Over the year, that's £120. That is a bit of a tyre.
Yeah.
And literally, it is a bit
of a tyre. Yeah.
That's probably the bit that gets rubbed off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But it does help the team
massively. And I think the misconception is often we're a military team, so we must be military funded, and we're not.
No.
Everything that anyone sees our team, that's there because of the hard work that Phil's put in, and our sponsor support, and our any grants that we've been able to get hold of. It's the support that's come from that. Phil has a full-time job in the Navy. He's a Navy serving warrant officer, as you heard before. I have a full-time job as well. My company's amazing. My boss and my boss's boss are spectacular. Yeah. They know what I do with my husband. They know what we do with the team, and they understand. And without that support, we can't do what we do. But it's about spreading the word about what True Heroes Racing is about. We have a strap line, more than just a race team, and it's so true.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen that firsthand.
Yeah.
And yes, you do need some competitive bikes to be able to
Absolutely.
do it.
Of course.
That's the hook.
Yes.
But the real ethos of the team is to what happens behind it, and the volunteers and the people that on the team that is helping, and anybody that does want to come along and maybe contribute or just come along to see the team and how they do on a weekend is truly amazing.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because we'll have people contact us, and I've seen it across the years. Someone might come for a day and say it's too much. It just reminds me too much, and that's okay. They might come for 2 weekends and say that's enough for me, or they might join for a couple of years. Yeah. We are there for them, and we exist because of those opportunities. And tonight, we've done a memorial for Mark Fincham, who was unfortunately one of our teammates we lost 7 years ago. And I've put something on social media which Phil was unsure about, because he wasn't sure whether we should share that. And what I'm trying to do is show that this team is everything. It's all encompassing when someone's here. We're there to support them, whether in the highs and the lows. And tonight we have commemorated and remembered that guy and every other fallen comrade that any of us have ever known, which unfortunately a lot of the military do know a lot of. But it's to show that we're a team, and you know, there's lots of bad days, but there's also lots of good days and lots of good times. And you know, I'm very lucky. I see firsthand the impact it has on my husband.
Yeah.
And I think that Phil, I've said this to him many a time, when he comes out in a couple of years' time, he's going to struggle. You know, he's spent 30-something years in the Navy. He's going to be one of our beneficiaries.
Absolutely.
He's going to need that support. So I'm so desperate to make sure that we ensure the longevity of this organisation. You know, we want to look at having a permanent residence, a permanent, you know, sort of...
permanent base.
That's it, yeah. With sort of garage space, some accommodation in the Midlands area, so that Phil can leave the Navy and transition into running this organisation fully. Because there's no one better to go out there and talk to the wider community about what we do. He's brilliant at it.
Absolutely.
You know,
well, you're not bad yourself, actually.
Well, yeah, but I don't have the empathy. You know, I've not been there.
Yeah.
I can see it, but he is the one that can say, I've seen this in Afghanistan. You know, this is why I start this organisation, and I want to enable him to do that and to help so many more people. And it's amazing how many people we see on social media that say, thank you, you've helped me. They might not even be military.
Yeah.
But they see from a mental health perspective. You know, you've probably spoken to Chris Duggan tonight, I think.
I have had a really good chat with Chris.
An amazing guy.
And hopefully we're going to get together, because he lives in my area.
Yeah, he is. He's fantastic, and he's a perfect example of someone that's a lower leg amputee, and he's now hurt his elbow. You know, he's had some serious setbacks, and you know, he still comes here because the team mentally gives him what he needs, and that's what we're about.
Yeah, he can still do things with his left hand.
Yeah, just the left hand.
Just the left hand.
But he will manage, you know, and that's what it's about. And Phil often uses it, adapt and overcome, and do you know what we do?
Yeah, absolutely.
We absolutely do.
I mean, that's always been an ethos of the British forces, is you adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
And that's why, whenever there's a national crisis, the first people that the government turn to is the military to go and sort it out.
Yeah.
And it's that the ability to get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is why this team has done so well at what they're doing.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of the guys that, you know, we did a video last year, and I think my first strapline was, if you ask any of them, they don't consider themselves heroes, and they don't.
No.
You know, but they are heroes in what they do. One of them. You know, my husband's a hero every time he gets out of bed every day. He's just, he doesn't complain. He's a pain. He's my husband, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't complain, and he keeps going, and that's what they do. And that's why I will continue to do everything I can to make sure this organisation succeeds and we meet our goals.
Well, is there anything I can do for the team? I mean, I'll
keep doing what you're doing, keep telling people.
Absolutely.
Keep getting the message out there.
This is going to go viral.
Yeah, let's hope so, you know.
We're going to get this viral. We're going to find somebody that's won a big lottery win, and they're going to give you a big load of money so you can set up.
Anybody, you know, how small or how big, it doesn't matter.
And joining the supporters club
helps.
Really important.
That helps, that helps massively.
And the more supporters they get, the more help that they get.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the keys.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure the supporters club will grow and grow.
Yes,
and grow.
it is organically growing. I'm rebuilding the website. By the beginning of October, we'll have a new website. You know, there'll be information on there. But, you know, if you want to reach out to us and help us for 2025, info@trueheroesracing.co.uk, or reach out to us on socials. You know, there's always somebody on it, usually me at the moment. But there's always somebody there that will answer you, and we will take anything that we can get.
Absolutely. That's been awesome.
Thank you. Really appreciate what you're doing.
I mean, you are terrific.
Oh,
thanks. What you bring to the party
thank you.
is just awesome, and I think you, from what I've seen, are one of the key linchpins.
Well, I'm very honoured. I'm very honoured to be part of such an awesome organisation. They drive me nuts often, but I'm very, very proud to be part of something like this. It is phenomenal, and what they've done for me personally through my husband, I cannot repay.
Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Thank you very much.
Wow, just wow! What an amazing lady, Lisette. She is the real driving force, the real kingpin around the team. She enables so much on the weekend. what she does is immeasurable. I can't praise what she's done so much. It's terrific. Now, I've got a lot of other of the team members coming on to the show. Hopefully, you'll follow them and their journey and see the different perspectives that people have brought to the team. And if you want to get involved, the best way you can do it, if you're not a big sponsor or anything like that, is support the team. Join the supporters club. It'll cost you a small setup fee, and you'll get a couple of gizzits for that, or a few gizzits, and it's £10 a month. That goes a long way to helping support the team. So I hope you follow the rest of the series. Don't forget to give us a like, give us a comment, tell us what you think. And also, if you click the bell icon, you get notified when the next episode drops. So until then, TTFN. Ta-da for now.